found the perfect bowl. I found the perfect bowl for you because some of those other lids, the water keeps leaking out, but this lid is like a bowl and it's not going to leak out through the seams. Look at her, you're such a hyper little shit. Hyper little shit. Yeah, I can tell you're taking after your daddy, Ortego. Your daddy, Ortego. You're gonna take after your daddy, Ortego, because I can see you're hyper little shit already. Because he was a fast and hyper little shit. Dude, my father died of natural causes. February 18th. But who knows how he died, but two experts said it was probably a combination of things. But my spirit guide was right because I asked her, because it doesn't make sense that I'm going to find a little baby boy and he dies of exposure, you know, after Ortego already died. I knew that just didn't make sense. So I knew Carmela had to have probably laid down, you know, other little babies that I would find alive. Sure enough, my spirit guide was right because she said there is one female in the yard and one more boy. So if she's right, I've already found the female Ornate three-toed hybrid, and eventually maybe I'll find the boy if there really is another boy baby Ornate three-toed box turtle. So let's see, that would be what, 1, 2, 3 turtles. So Carmela probably laid down, you know, 3 eggs or whatever. Of course, I didn't know it. I never really see them lay down eggs. I just see them dig their holes, and they're digging tons of holes now. But yeah, yeah, I was smart. I stayed in the ground when it was 47 degree or 45 degree wind chill. That's why I didn't die. See, my baby brother went up to the top, on top of the ground, and froze to death. See, and she's the exact same age as him. But look how big she is because I just now found her. So she's probably like 5 months old by now, 5 or 6 months old. That turtle, I can't remember, Ortego Jr., I can't remember when I filmed that, but it was several months ago when he was probably already just a couple weeks old when I found him. 2 or 3 weeks old, but now it's several months later. And this little thing, you know, I didn't find her till now, so that's why she's so damn big. You're so big, and I found the perfect bowl for you. You're a girl, I know you are. And this is Ortego's daughter. Ortego was a big stud. I didn't think he would even be able to, breed with a 3-toed box turtle. I wasn't sure if they were compatible, but they are. I don't think a red ear slider would be compatible with a 3-toed box turtle, but, you know, because that's a totally different species. But these are similar enough, you know. A lot of turtle species, just as long as they're very similar, they can mate with each other even if they're different species. But see how much bigger? See, here's the little baby boy, and he probably was just a couple weeks old, but that had been several months ago. Now look how big she is. They both hatched out at the same time. And since I'm just now finding her, look how big she is already. Like, you know, almost, what is that, March, April, May, June? I mean, almost a half year old now. She's almost 6 months old. You know, 5 or 6 months old. See how much bigger she is? Because she's not a fresh hatchling. But he's pretty close to being a fresh hatchling. Or shit, I don't know. I mean, they're only supposed to be a quarter when they first hatch out. And so he could have, I don't know, he could have been at least a month old. Trying to find a quarter. He could be at least a month old, I guess, when I found him. I don't know, he looks like a fresh hatchling, pretty much, you know, almost a fresh, not quite a fresh hatchling, but almost. Oh my god, baby, and I haven't named her yet. But I just found, see? Okay, if that's a quarter, well, see? So I guess he could have been, I don't know, maybe at least a month old? I guess he could have been at least a month old, you know, before he froze to death. But yeah, but this little turtle here, yeah, they're brothers and sisters, except she survived. And look how much bigger she is, because he would be this big almost, you know, if he lived. But look how big she is, because she's probably about a half-year old now, and I just found her. Was it yesterday or a day before? Shit, I don't know. It was either yesterday. Oh, the 26th. Yeah, 26th. I found her on June 26th, and so she's probably at least 6 months old. And well, it was kind of funny. I gotta buy Carmela. The Carmela is the mom. Carmela is the mom. And she must have laid down 3 eggs, maybe even more, but yeah, this turtle's a little female. But see, look how big she is now, because I just now found her. But it was so funny, because I gave Carmela a tomato like 4 days ago or whatever, and then I think she pretty much ate it all, and the next day she was looking in that same area for her tomato, and I saw one little teeny tiny bite of tomato left, which there may have been a bigger bite, and she just had already been on it really good or whatever. And then I looked down, and boom, there was, near that there's a big old hole in the ground right there, because the voles or the moles made a big old hole in the ground. And she was just right there by the tomato, the little bite of tomato, and Carmela. And I was just like, you gotta be kidding me. So, I mean, it's really like cool. I mean, it's really neat. You know, it's very surprising, because I don't like literally try to keep up, you know, with the eggs or whatever, because the turtles are just kind of wild in my yard. So I don't know when they're gonna lay down eggs or whatever, or when they hatch. So it's kind of neat, you know, it's kind of surprising when you find one. It's really cool. And like I say, my spirit guide was right, because I was like, you know, Zon, it doesn't make sense that my little baby turtle, Ortego's son, is gonna die, you know, right after Ortego dies. So I knew there had to be more of his offspring in the yard. And sure enough, there's this little girl that I found 2 days ago. See, she's a female, and she's freaking hyper like little Ortego, too. You're just like your daddy! You're just like your daddy! She obviously stayed underground when this little rascal decided to, aw, sweetheart, tried to mosey on up when it was like 47 degree, maybe even 45 wind chill. Poor little guy. If I went outside earlier, I maybe could have saved you, little guy. Because he had probably been out there, you know, for hours right there, exposed to the cold air and everything. And it was super windy. I mean, really windy. So, I mean, it was like 52 degrees, but the wind chill could have even been, I mean, it felt cold. It was probably 42 degree wind chill. But this little girl made it because she decided to hide deeper in the ground to stay warm. See, and that's his little dead baby brother. Oh, see, there's frost on him because he's been in the freezer. But, and then here's Ortego, here's the father. And he died under hibernation. February 18th, little guy. Probably my fault because he fucking hibernated in an unnatural fucking setting, but I brought him in not to hibernate, and he hibernated anyway. But like I say, it could have been a combination of things, like the 2 vets said. They said it was probably a combination of things. You know. But, yeah, he was my favorite freaking turtle. My little guy. Well, I can finally look at him and not ball my head off. But yeah, see all the little yellow marks on him? Yellow dots? That's Ortego's daughter and son. See, he's got frost on him because he's been in the freezer. I don't know what I'm going to do with him. I'll probably just leave him in the freezer forever. But the little daughter survived! And I kept asking my spirit guide, are there any more of Ortego and Carmela's offspring? I know Carmela is the mom because he's never bred with any other turtle except for Carmela. And she may end up being pretty large because Carmela is a huge turtle. She's huge, and so she may end up being a pretty big female. See, I'm a three-toed, I haven't seen her eat any food yet. See, I'm a three-toed ornate box turtle hybrid. But this bowl is like perfect. And she gets right the hell out of there. I didn't think she'd be able to climb out, but she's a hyper little shit. But the cool thing is, the little boy has 4 toes on the back. He's got 4 little toes. Which totally proves that he's Ortego's offspring, because the 3-toed box turtles have 3 toes on the back and the ornate box turtles have 4 toes on the back. But the funny thing is, this little hybrid has 3 toes on the back, so she took after Carmela as far as her toes go. She's got 3 toes. She took after the 3-toed box turtle as far as her feet. But this little guy took after his daddy and has 4 toes on the back. But he's in turtle heaven right now. See, so this is the size of a quarter. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, he could have been a month or 2 at least old. He could have been 2 months old, you know, not just a couple weeks old. Because like I say, I've never really seen a fresh hatchling. By the time I found them, they were already several, you know, months old. So yeah, he could have been a month or 2 old, you know, when I found him, and then several months later, I find her, so she's got to be at least a half-year old now, which is so funny because it's like you've been living in my yard undetected for 6 freaking months. Yeah, I would say, damn, well, how long ago was that? February, March, April, May, June. Well, actually, it may be more like 8 months old. Let's see, I'll have to figure out when I found him, and 2 months before that. 2 months before I did the video on him, because now I'm thinking, because this is the size of a quarter, and he's way bigger than a quarter, so he could easily he may have lived a month or 2 before he decided to, you know, because of his size, he could have been at least a month or 2 old. So that video I took when I found him, which was several months ago, I need to add those months together because, yeah, because this little rascal could easily be, I guess, about close to even 8 months old, possibly. You've been roaming around in my yard for at least a half year longer, undetected? And you didn't even show yourself to me? You never showed yourself to me. Till 2 days ago? Like I say, if my spirit guide is right, there's another one out there. There's another boy out there somewhere in my yard. Because she said there were 2 more of Ortego's offspring out there. So anyway, it's very possible, but this may be the only one, who knows, but I might find another one, and if I find another one, it might be a boy. Because my spirit guide said 1 female and 1 male. So, you're gonna have to give your little brother a telepathic message and tell him to show himself, okay? To me, so I can find him. Trying to think, when I found Reptilya, she was a little bigger than this. I think I figured she was about 4 months old when I found her. I think that's what I figured, at least 4 months old when I found her. And so that's what I'm saying, she wasn't 2 weeks old, because see, this is a quarter. Now that I look at the quarter and him, he was probably 2 months old. And she will be the exact same age as him, because, you know, they would have hatched out about the same time. Because, you know, Carmela would have laid down the eggs right around the same time. So this little shit could have been living in my yard for like what, 6 months to 8 months already? Sweetheart. Well, what am I gonna name you? What am I gonna name you? You cutie pie, you got little brown eyes because yeah, I'm a female and your little tail kind of proves you're a female because the boys, their hole is farther in the middle of their tail. And with the girls, wait a minute, or did I get that backwards? Shit, I could have got that backwards. Well, Ortego, I don't know if I can see your tail, baby. No, baby, because you're dead, but... shit, did I get that backwards? No, the female hole is way, way close up to their shell. And I think I have that right. And the boys, their hole is more in the middle of their tail. Yeah, so... But I need to make sure of that. I think I'm right. So yeah, she's definitely a female, aren't you, baby? And I'm gonna separate you from Reptilya. Because Reptilya's like roaming around like, what the hell is this thing doing in my tank? And so I'm gonna put her in a box for now until I get a plastic crate. And I'm gonna see if I could get you to eat some worms, baby. See how she's quite a bit bigger than him? Because like I say, this is probably a 2-month-old turtle. And this is like 6 to 8 months. Aren't you, sweetheart? That's your brother! Your brother, baby! That's your brother! Honey? That's your brother? And that's your father? That's daddy! See, that's daddy! But say, I got all sorts of godfathers and godmothers in the yard, don't you, baby? And all sorts of stepbrothers and stepsisters, don't you, sweetheart? Don't you, sweetheart? Oh, baby, okay, I think you're sick of getting in the water bowl. I'm gonna set your little habitat up now, okay, baby? Love you, little Ortego. See the frost on him? He's been in the freezer. It's frost. Man, I thought he was moving around a week before, or a week and a half before he died or whatever. You know, I thought he was moving around, sleepwalking, because that's exactly what Scooter did when he was waking up from hibernation. He was walking around, sleepwalking. And then Ortego freaking was dying, basically, but I didn't know it until I knew that he was actually dead, which was February 18th. I took him to the vet to make sure. Poor little guy. They said, that's daddy! That's daddy! But if my spirit guide is right, little rascal, you got a little baby brother, biological brother that's still in the yard. But we'll just have to find him. Maybe 6 more months before I find him. Sweetheart. And then a 2.5-year-old turtle. This is Reptilya. 2.5-year-old turtle. Oh, she's freaking huge now. Oh, Reptilya! See, I don't want that damn baby all up in my tank. See, that's cramping my style. See, I don't want that little brat in my tank. Oh my gosh, she's freaking huge. This is Reptilya. Oh my god, baby. And the last time I did a video on her was when I was watching Halloween with her. Me and her were watching all the episodes of Halloween early November. And that was, oh my god, that was almost 9 months ago. Look how freaking bigger she is. She's much bigger now. Dang, that was that long ago. About 8, 9 months ago already. Okay, and seeing, look how big she is. She's the new turtle, like I say, she probably is either, 6 to 8 months. And this is well shit, I'll have to do the math now. It was May. Yeah, she's about 2.5 years old. Reptilya. And then this little thing is probably about 6 to 8 months. Okay, baby, well, I'm still gonna have to name you, sweetheart. And I gotta go somewhat clean her little cage up real quick because the damn water spilled. Because the water came through the damn seams of the lid.